Hi, Amy of Fashion Toppings here with another car vlog. Well, not a lot has been going on. Well, that's exciting. As far as this week, we got moved, finally. The move took forever, it felt like. We decided, because we're going to be moving, we sold the house, we're moving into a temporary 3-bedroom townhouse, and we're only going to be there for like 6 months, and we're going to be paying movers twice. We thought, well, let's save some money. Let's have the movers move just the big things, and then we'll move all the boxes and the lightweight stuff, because we're putting our belongings in 3 different locations. The house that's getting moved, a pod, and then the townhouse, because we just don't have room to have all of our stuff in one location. So the funny thing is so we decided we're going to try to save some money. Well, the movers took 1 truckload, and there was so much left over. It seriously took my husband and I all day, almost every day, for 3 days. It took us to move the rest of the shit. And, if a marriage can survive that, let me tell you, a marriage can survive anything. That's why I laughed. I'm going to have to, it was very stressful, the move this week. I mean, we were exhausted, we were tired, we were cranky, and my husband sends me this little text message just a couple minutes ago. I don't know if you can see it. He sent me a text message. He's holding on to a Diet Coke can that says "Sweetie." Isn't that sweet? And he just wrote "Love you" underneath. So if the stress that we were under with the move and having to get out and try to find, getting that townhouse and everything in time for everything to work out well, it was crazy. So we were very stressed. And so when he sent me that little message, that was so sweet. Now we just have to make sure those messages keep coming during the whole building process. We have to text each other pictures all the time just to, let each other know that we still love each other, even though things are very stressful. So like I said, we got moved. It is very tight quarters. The townhouse is just small. And so we're all kind of on top of each other. So the move is done. We're in our temporary housing, just waiting to break ground for the new house. The one thing that we have, we can't break ground until the permits are done, and we're still waiting for all the permits to be approved. So that's just one thing. But wow, it's hot in here. Okay, it was too hot in here. I had to open the sunroof. So yeah, as soon as we start breaking ground, I'll be able to start documenting everything, including the move of the little house and the building of the new house and all that good stuff. So that is what went on this week, is just the big move. Next, so since we're moving, we've been eating out a lot because everything's packed up, and I haven't unpacked everything yet. So my youngest loves McDonald's, so I've been taking him to McDonald's, and no more. I am having a love-hate relationship with McDonald's, and I feel Jennifer from 5J's Make 5, she has a love-hate relationship with McDonald's, and I love listening to her stories about what she deals with when it comes to going to McDonald's. Well, I've never really had a problem with them before, and I'm going to insert a picture. Now, this hamburger is raw. So I buy my son his hamburger. He's eating it. And, but he was starving because he had been at school all day, and, he didn't like the lunch at school. And so, he was just basically, "Mom, run me through McDonald's. I'm starving." I'm like, okay. So I get him, his, it's a double quarter pounder, with just cheese, nothing else on it. And so he's eating it, and my son eats around the outside and then works his way to the middle. Just kind of like corn on the cob. He works his way around the sandwich. But he started eating it, and he's eating a little bit more and eating a little bit more. And then he's like, "This doesn't taste quite right, Mom." And so we peeled it apart. I'm going to pop that picture up again because you just can't believe it. That hamburger was raw. It was gray around the edges, and it was pink. This thing was freaking mooing. I could have named it and made it a pet. I watched my son for a couple of days. I'm hoping that, I was hoping that he was not going to get sick. And that's it, because we had already, you know, twice during this whole move thing, we've ordered our meals to the drive up. My son hates toppings. He just hates onions, pickles, you know, he doesn't want that stuff on his hamburger. And so I always order it just plain, nothing on it but cheese. The last time we went there, we ended up leaving and driving off and getting home. Now I've learned we'd have to check the meals, but I'm not going to go back, so it doesn't really matter. But got a quarter pounder, which we didn't eat a single quarter, or just one patty, and loaded with pickles. My son hates pickles, and so we got someone else's meal. They handed out someone else's meal out the window. And so just McDonald's, terrible service. And that sandwich, I'm so lucky he did not get sick from that. I mean, the fact that the patty is gray and it's still mooing was ridiculous. And then I called them. I took a picture, and then I called that McDonald's. And all they did is, and they're like, well, can you drive the burger back up to us and we'll get you a new one? Okay, those burgers cost what? $5.49 odd cents for the whole meal, fries. I live 15 minutes away. I wasn't driving that back up to get take the risk of getting another meal from McDonald's. I mean, and that was it. Not much of an apology, nothing. So, McDonald's, you're done. We will no longer go to McDonald's. We're now Wendy's people. So, we eat at Wendy's now. And then my husband and I had date night finally. We haven't had a date night in forever. I mean, all these new clothes that I bought, I always kid around about, my husband needs to take me someplace so I can wear these new clothes. I was serious. I looked back, and I don't think we've had a date night since probably sometime this spring. And, you know, it's been a long time since we've had the time to just the two of us get out and have a date night. So we had a date night. We went out and had a really good time, and we got to meet Rocky Patel. I don't know if you know who Rocky Patel is. My husband loves his cigars. He's, you know, got his humidor, and he very picky about the type of cigars he smokes, and you know, he just likes to relax on the weekends with a good cigar outside, not in my house, believe me, not in the house. But so we went out, and he smokes Rocky Patels, and we got to actually meet Rocky Patel. So if you or your husband is a cigar smoker, I know you've heard the name Rocky Patel. So that was kind of exciting. I'll insert a picture of that too. But so that was exciting that we got to meet Rocky Patel and finally get a name behind the or get a, you know, face behind the name behind the label. That's what I'm trying to say. So that was fun, and it was so nice to have a date night. It was so nice to actually get dressed up and go out. Granted, he didn't get dressed up because we were going to a cigar event, but I got the chance to get dressed up, so I was happy. And what else? Oh, I was laughing on my way. I'm at my son's school parking on campus parking lot, waiting for him to get out of class, and I'm sitting here watching. This motorcycle goes by, and it's driving, probably about 55. First of all, he's wearing a helmet that looks like it's been decoupaged to be army fatigued color, like green. It's like he decoupaged green contact paper onto his helmet. But what was funny is he's got like swimmer's goggles on, the little tiny swimmer's goggles, and then he has a cigarette sticking out of his mouth. How do you smoke a cigarette going 55 miles an hour on a motorcycle with all that wind? Or does he have to have kind of like a pacifier? He just had to have the cigarette in his mouth just for the idea of having the cigarette in his mouth? Or 3, was he holding on to it because he had no pockets and so he was holding on to it in his mouth for the drive home, or this drive? I have no idea. But I got such a kick out of watching this guy driving. He's got a cigarette sticking out of the front of his mouth, little tiny goggles. I wish I would have snapped a picture of him, but I didn't have time to get the camera out and get the picture. He was already gone. But it was the funniest picture, or funniest thing I've ever seen. Not ever seen, but it was pretty funny. That this guy is just like on his motorcycle like this, face all scrunched up, little goggles, and a cigarette sticking out of the front of his mouth. And then, so on the drive-in, we were listening, my son and I were listening to Ryan Seacrest. We listen to Ryan Seacrest every morning because we have such a long commute to get to campus every day. And they had this guy on that was talking about his 9-year-old daughter. He doesn't think it's right that his 9-year-old daughter should be involved in cheerleading, and he's not going to let her be involved in cheerleading. And you know, I'm listening to all these people call in, and cheerleading is a sport. I don't know if many of you guys have watched competitive cheerleading, but cheerleading is a sport, and it's a competitive, very competitive sport. So the younger you are, the better your chances are of being able to participate in this sport. And I'm sitting there thinking that, you know, this dad he needs to open his eyes to the fact that this would open up a lot of opportunities for his daughter, and that he should let her get involved in cheerleading. It's going to, you know, help her with, you know, making friends, being part of a group, self-esteem, health. I mean, as far as, you know, well, cheerleaders get injured, but you're being physically active. It's much better than being in front of a video game or sitting home doing nothing. So I'm sitting there listening to it, and I'm sitting there remembering back to my old cheerleading days. I was a cheerleader in high school, but I cheered for 1 year in college, and then after that, I had to have a full-time job while I went to college. And my first year of college, I did the cheerleading thing. I worked full-time. So, you know, for me, I couldn't keep doing the cheerleading thing because I didn't have any time left for school. You know, it's for doing homework between working the full-time and then cheerleading practice, and then, you know, with traveling games and having to have my employer work around my schedules, and it was just got ridiculous. But I do have to say, you know, I made several really, really good friends while I was cheerleading. It was, you know, whether it be high school or college, I made some of my best friends that way, and lifelong friends that way. But, you know, the cheerleading, it's not just about rah-rah, shish kumbah, whatever. I mean, there's so much more to it. And some of my best memories are from back when I was cheering, as far as growing up, as far as best memories. That and playing softball. But, you know, one of the memories, we were just talking about this the other day when we went to the Rocky Patel thing. We're talking about old stories, embarrassing moments. And one of mine was when back in, I went out with a bunch of the cheerleaders. We went to a club, and we were doing upside down margaritas. And if anybody doesn't know what an upside down margarita is, it's like a barber's chair that flips backwards, and then they basically just pour the alcohol in your mouth upside down with no glasses. And I, at that time I weighed like 102 pounds. I was small. I couldn't handle my liquor. And all I remember is that was before they had acrylic nails too. Now I'm really aging myself. You couldn't get acrylic nails. No one had acrylic nails. The big thing was Lee press-on nails. And I had big frizzy hair. I'll even insert a picture. I don't know if I have any cheerleading pictures of mine that are clear enough to be able to scan in to show here, but I'll put in a picture of my big hair. Well, I end up after doing upside down margaritas, I end up dancing, and I'm like, doing the whole, rubbing, doing the whole dancing thing. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but dancing, and when you've had too much to drink, you always seem to go for the hair, especially when the hair is big. I had Lee press-on nails glued in my hair everywhere. I remember waking up in the morning, and there were Lee press-on nails floating in my hair with the glue, and everybody remembered it too. Because I got a lot of shit for it for like months afterwards. People on campus were like, "Oh my God, did you ever get those nails out of your hair?" And I was so embarrassed. But it was, I don't even know how I got into that story. I just know that was back in my cheerleading days. And right now I'm just kind of rambling. I have an hour to sit in my car to wait for my son to get out of class. And so just kind of like whatever comes to the top of my head, I'm going to talk about. It'd be so nice if we had like a table and all of us could be around the table and have coffee and chit chat, because I enjoy reading your comments. And, sometimes it might take me a little bit longer to respond back. But I do try to, you know, eventually, hopefully within a week, I do get back to your comments and comment back. But I do read each and every one of them, and I love reading the comments. It's just kind of like we're all sitting. Yeah, I think Judy mentioned this, but it's kind of like we're all sitting around the table having coffee together, just a bunch of girls. And so that's what I kind of feel like right now. I'm doing my part of the talking, and then I'm reading your comments back, and that's kind of like your part of the talking. And so for me, this is fun. And what else? Well, as far as my outfit today, I don't know if I've shown this yet. I thrifted this shirt. This shirt has little tiny birds on it. I thrifted this shirt, and I'm actually wearing it as a dress today. I don't know if I could get out and show you. I don't know where I put the camera to show you. Let me see. I gotta get my shoes back on. Let me see. See if I can find a spot. Okay, first of all, I have my shoes on the wrong feet. Okay, so this is the shirt. It is the little bird shirt that I got. And I'm wearing underneath of it, I don't know if you can see it. It is the slip dress that I got from American Thread. It's the tan thrift, like cream dress. So that's what I'm wearing today. I guess I can show you. See, it's the bird dress. You can kind of see it, little birds. I love this top. It's supposed to be a top, it's a tunic. And then this is the slip from American Thread that I've shown on previous videos. But, prop it back up. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell, but I have a little bit of makeup on. I'm slowly starting to put makeup on again, and my eyes feel a lot better. And thank you for all the sweet comments on my last video. You know, some people gave me advice about my eyes, and you were also, you know, complimentary, and you know, it was so sweet. I was so paranoid about doing videos with no makeup, and you guys just made me feel wonderful. So I appreciate and give you all big hugs back. But I'm trying to put the makeup on again. I do have a little bit of mascara, a little bit of eyeliner. So I do have a little bit of mascara and a little bit of eyeliner on, and we finally have a good concoction of medicines that are making my eyes feel better. I got my lubricant eye drops. I have my steroid eye drops, and then I have a bedtime ointment, and this ointment goes inside my eyes, underneath my eyelids, every night before bed. And even though my eyes feel really greasy in the morning, and they kind of look greasy too, they feel so much better. So I'm actually really happy. This is my first week with makeup. I've been a month without makeup, so this is the first week. And even though I'm not wearing a lot, I don't feel naked. One thing I'm loving right now is Tarte. We got in our Ipsy last month. That Tarte bronzer. Love it. I'm definitely, and I'm almost down to the tin in it in just a month. So I'm definitely going to be buying that again. I went to Sephora and I bought the Tarte eye primer, and then I bought a Sephora eyeliner in brown, and then I'm definitely going to go back and get the Tarte bronzer once this little palette from Ipsy's is gone. I'm definitely going to repurchase that. I love it. It's probably my most favorite bronzer because it has a little bit of a gold shimmer to it. So it kind of have a little bit of a luminosity. I don't know how to say that, but I just like it. I really do like it. But I took one of you had, you know, actually a couple of you had said, throw out your makeup and start new. And so I did. And I didn't feel guilty about throwing my makeup out because with Ipsy, we get new makeup every month. So I didn't feel guilty throwing it out. So I threw out anything that had to do with eyes. I threw it all away. And I'm starting from fresh. And you know what? It actually felt good to purge through all that crap. I have so many, I held on to eyeshadows. I mean, I found one of my eyeshadows that's probably 10 years old, and it was in one of my bins, and I haven't used it in probably 10 years, but it was sitting in there. And so it just felt good to just have a reason to, you know what, purge all my makeup. So all my eye makeup. So I got rid of anything that had to do with eyes. It got thrown away. And now all I have is 3 products. I have my eyeliner, my primer, and then I got the CoverGirl mascara, and that's it. Just those 3 things for my eyes is all I currently hold in my makeup bag, and I feel good about it. And so I'm waiting for, you know, my next Ipsy to come in, because, you know, it'll be new, brand new product. I don't have to worry about, you know, if there was any issues with my eyes before, with the dry eyes, and then the bacteria had, you know, started to grow underneath my eyelids because of the abrasions and stuff. I don't have to worry about any makeup having been contaminated, or maybe being a culprit in, you know, encouraging the bacteria. I don't know, in my eyes. But it felt good to purge it all. And so I think my closet will be, when we get into the new house, my closet will be the next thing. Is I'm going to organize and purge. I did donate, I would guess, 10 bags of clothes back to the Goodwill. I donated back just because I just figured if I haven't worn it in the last year, it's gone. And some stuff I absolutely love and I would not part with, so I did keep it. But I mean, I got rid of like 10 bags of clothes. It was ridiculous. So well, I've been kind of rambling on a lot, probably because I have an hour to stall. But if there's any topics you guys want to talk about, because I mean, I know several of you have said, you know, I can't wait for your next vlog to come out. So, you know, when it comes to me doing vlogs, you know, it's nice to have topics to talk about that I think that maybe you guys are interested in, instead of just topics that I'm interested in. Make it more two-sided conversation instead of just one-sided. If you have any like questions for me, topics or anything like that, feel free to put the message down below if there's something that you want to talk about, or if you're curious about, or if you have a question. You know, make it a two-sided conversation. I'm willing to answer any questions. So I guess I'm gonna let you go. This is Amy again with Fashion Toppings. Until next time, you have a great day.